In this lesson, we're going to discuss disposable resources. Now, in the world of cloud computing, virtual servers are treated as a temporary and disposable resource rather than a permanent or fixed piece of infrastructure. This is unlike our on-premise deployments where we have to spend a lot of money on hardware and software for our servers, which we see as a long-term investment for our organization. Since we use virtual machines or VMs in cloud computing instead of physical servers, these VMs can be created and destroyed as needed, providing organizations with the ability to quickly allocate and deallocate resources as their computing needs change. This disposable resource approach to cloud computing is made possible by the use of virtualization, which abstracts the underlying physical hardware from organizations. With the cloud, our organization can create virtual machines on demand so we can get a new server up and running in just a few minutes. This lets us quickly increase or decrease our computing resources based on the needs of our applications and services. This is made possible by the pay-as-you-go model of cloud computing, where organizations only pay for the resources they use and they can choose to use those resources for as long or short a period as they need. This eliminates the need for organizations to make upfront capital expenditures on hardware and infrastructure, and it provides a level of cost certainty and predictability since organizations know exactly how much they will be spending on computing resources at any given time. The use of disposable resources in cloud computing brings numerous benefits to organizations. First, disposable resources eliminate the need for organizations to invest in expensive hardware, which was the case in traditional on-premise deployments. With cloud computing, organizations can utilize the resources provided by the cloud service provider without having to worry about the physical servers or the associated costs of maintenance and upgrades. Second, disposable resources allow organizations to react promptly to changing demands. In traditional on-premise deployments, organizations had to anticipate and allocate resources accordingly. However, with cloud computing, organizations can easily adjust their resources as required without any physical intervention. This gives organizations the ability to swiftly respond to shifting business needs, such as surge in demand for an e-commerce provider's products that require additional computing resources. Third, the use of disposable resources in cloud computing promotes efficient resource utilization. With traditional on-premise deployments, organizations often over-provision resources to ensure that they had enough capacity to handle any anticipated demand. In cloud computing, however, organizations can avoid over-provisioning as they can simply create VMs when they are needed and destroy them whenever they are no longer required. However, the use of disposable resources in cloud computing also brings some challenges. One of the challenges is the need for an orchestrated deployment method to keep the server creation and configuration process efficient and consistent. This means that organizations need to have a well-defined process in place for creating and configuring VMs, and they must ensure that this process is followed consistently by all of their developers and administrators. Another challenge involves your organization's ability to ensure the security of the virtual servers. With traditional on-premise deployments, organizations had physical control over the servers, which made it easier to secure them. With cloud computing, organizations are dependent on the security measures put in place by the cloud service provider, which can be a concern for some organizations, especially those who work in sensitive fields like the government, healthcare, or financial industries. So, in conclusion, the use of disposable resources is a major shift from traditional on-premise deployments, where servers were considered to be fixed resources. With cloud computing, virtual servers are treated as disposable resources, which can be created and destroyed whenever you need them. This has brought numerous benefits to organizations, such as reduced costs, efficient resource utilization, and the ability to respond quickly to changing demands. However, organizations must also be aware of the challenges associated with the use of disposable resources in cloud computing, such as the need for an orchestrated deployment method and the need to ensure the security of all the newly created virtual machines are in place.